Hello, everybody. This is Football Sight. Can I have Coach Mad Mike?
Large Sarge!
It is good old Shaq.
All right.
Go, Shaq! Go! Get them effects on! Whee!
Well, that was like Daniels and Terry McLaurin right there. You two are like, and you know what? Y'all have never missed.
Yep.
You guys are still a 100% completion rate. You got a perfect quarterback rating there, Large Sarge. And every target thrown to good old Shaq has been a completion. No matter how off these passes are, he comes down with the ball.
Yep. Just put it in my direction. I got it.
You ain't dropping no balls on the Sarge. You ain't dropping no balls.
I tell you what, man, there is nothing better than being at the game and just cheering on our Redskins, man. Oh my goodness, such a freaking wonderful game, man.
I was gonna eat my own teeth.
Hey man, listen, we were talking back and forth, and we was hoping that your phone wasn't dead. We was hoping that you were able to record some footage of the game. Being inside the stadium, I knew it was electric. Seeing all those Commanders fans that were down there, it was like they was calling it the Tampa takeover, and that's what it looked like. Every time we got a first down, they were louder than the Tampa fans. I was like, wow.
I was a little shocked because when I walked into the stadium and I'm scanning my ticket and I go in there and I'm walking in there, I am surrounded by Commanders and Redskins gear everywhere. I'm like, where are the Tampa fans? I go up in there and I got to use the bathroom. I go in there. I go into the bathroom, nothing but Redskins and Commanders guys in there. I go out to my seat. Now, granted, I'm on the visitor side, but still, I entered the other side of the stadium. I had to walk around to get to my seats on the visitor side because I came in on the home side. Nothing but I didn't see very many Tampa fans, and so I'm over there like, you're right. It was a Tampa takeover. I was shocked, and you know how many games we've been to at FedEx where it seemed like other teams were taking over our stadium.
Giants game.
This was the opposite.
Yep.
We took over.
I was teasing Shaq. I was like, I only got to talk to Coach Mad Mike once, and I'll just bet that he burned his battery out. He answering his dadgum phone because he lost his battery.
Yep.
So what I did, I had two things that went on, right? So at first I had my GoPro kind of camera, and I burned through that, and the battery's dead. I got a new SD card and everything else like that. And then I found out my laptop does not even have an SD reader.
Whoa.
I'm just like, oh my goodness. But I did catch all the post-game stuff on my phone because my GoPro camera was dead. So I got queued up post-game stuff, which is I think what everybody wants to see anyway, because you saw the game on TV. And so I got that. All right. And then I got our highlight film. So what we're going to do for all you fans that are out there, remember, this is a participation sport, not like any other channel. You got to give your comments on there because we want to hear from you about what your thoughts are on it. So Large Sarge will spit those out. We will give you answers.
But before we get into this, I just want to say I had to put my wig on because we looked so gorgeous yesterday. It looked so gorgeous. So gorgeous. I had to put the wig on tonight. Ooh, it looks so gorgeous.
You better break that stuff up. One of the Lions is going to grab you by the ponytail if you don't. You're going to lose that hair.
It looked gorgeous.
You're going into the Lions den. You can't go and looking all messy like that.
You look like the Redskin version of Palomero. What's that?
Troy Polamalu.
He looking like he's going to do a dandruff commercial.
Doing that stuff there, Shaq. Is a little tiny in there, keeping you squared away.
Yeah, he's in there dancing around in the scalp right now.
Tiny P. Hey, shout out to Dolo Dynamite. I've never seen your name before on the channel. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. We got a great one for you tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I know we're going to get into it. So we're going to get into the highlights. I'm going to show you some of the post-game stuff, and then we're going to talk about Detroit because we are Detroit bound, and we're going to have all that stuff talked tonight. Again, it's a participation sport, so everybody get in there, make your comments, and we will respond to you. So, Dolo Dynamite, what comments does he initially have to say there, Large Sarge?
He said, you think the Commanders are going to beat Detroit?
Oh,
heck no.
Oh, heck yeah.
But Coach, it did do.
Yeah. Hey, listen, let me tell you right now. Let me tell you this right now. They're on upset alert. I'm going to tell you right now. Though we struggled along in this game right here, right? Again, Detroit's defense is banged up. Their defense is banged up for sure. And then not only is Detroit's defense banged up, not only is their defense banged up, this week off may have hurt them. Now, how many games, Lawrence, let me ask you this. Out of the last 5 games, how many games did we lose?
We won the last 6 in the last 30 seconds.
That's all we need is 30 seconds.
That's all we need is 30 seconds.
Yeah, if you're not 24 points down, which you will be.
It's gorgeous. That's all we need.
So let me tell you a quick story. I sat next to 2 Tampa Bay guys.
Yeah.
Right, 2 Tampa Bay guys. And the rest of them were like almost all Commanders around me. But I had 2 Tampa Bay guys, and they were a little obnoxious, but kind of still in a fun way.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and so like we went back and forth, friendly little banter through the whole game. And he talked all this thing about how it wasn't going to be close, until halftime. And he's like, oh, wait a minute, we got a game. And then he's just like, oh, but we're going to run away with it. I was like, whatever. You don't know this team. We tied this game up, and it's 4:40. There's 4:41 left on the clock. And I'm just like, you have no idea what's about ready to have happen to you. He's like, whoa, what? I'm just like, we got this game already won. You don't even know it yet. With 4:41 left on the clock, we're going to go down, and we're either going to score a touchdown or kick the game-winning field goal. This game's over. And he's just like, yeah, right, my defense is going to shut you down. Blah. I'm like, nope. It happened exactly what I told him. And he was over there like his jaw was dropped. And there was Tampa Bay fans that started leaving, and they were like in shock of what happened to them.
Yeah.
Well, we did say whoever had the ball last was going to win. In this game, whoever had the ball last. Thank you, Baker Mayfield. That's enough. All you Tampa Bay fans out there. I do. He got me looking. He got me looking gorgeous tonight. I want to thank Baker. I want to thank Baker Mayfield for that wonderful fumble. That wonderful fumble. I want to thank you from my heart to yours. Thank you so much, Baker Mayfield.
Let's get into the game after we see what it was like to be there at Raymond James Financial Stadium.
Raymond James. Hey, Jack's on. Hey, welcome back,
folks.
Great having you on the show there, Jack. So, absolutely. So, hey, let's get into some highlights. I'm going to show about a quarter's worth of highlights, and then we're going to stop and we're going to talk about it. And you fans, we want to hear your comments too. All right?
Let's hype it up. Hype it up.
In several categories, including points and yards this year. Begins from the 30 with Baker rolling out, firing. Why not? Right away to Mike Evans to the 41-yard line.
That's how they started off.
Rashad White is now the back. Commanders bring 3, and the throw is Evans again.
Look at the defensive penetration, though. They're breaking the pocket down on him.
Yeah, Lattimore can't cover him, Mike, though.
Field goal from here is 50 yards. 3rd and 7, 4 Commanders coming. Mayfield into traffic.
Ooh, that should have been a pick.
He tried to find McMillan, but
look who was on coverage. Sandstrom.
Sandstrom was, yep.
Rookie 2nd-round pick out of Michigan. Field goal attempt coming. McLaughlin's had a very good year. Didn't have the best of warm-ups from 50 yards.
Coach, you said Gonzalez nailed a 58-yarder in pregame, right?
He did. He looked very good. He did not miss in pregame.
Man, McLaurin is a dog.
That was an unbelievable pass. And an
unbelievable
catch.
Yep.
Look how we just soft lobbed it up there.
Yep.
It's just disgusting. When he's on, he's crazy.
But this is what we need to get away from.
This is where I started thinking we're going to lose the game because they shut the corners down from Jaden all night.
Yep. You can tell the game plan.
I started rubbing my whiskers going, oh, man, it's going to be a long night.
Hey, one thing, Dan Quinn was aggressive the whole night. He was aggressive the whole night.
True. Look at that. Sandstrom was on that time, but
McMillan had a couple disastrous plays and he had a couple awesome plays.
Doing your team does well. 3rd and 8, Mayfield looking to climb the pocket.
Look at that.
See that? He couldn't climb the pocket. We kept him in the pocket.
Yeah,
Rolling out.
the defensive
Oh,
line,
he
they,
looks like a fullback.
the defensive line did their job yesterday.
I thought this was a disaster, and he looks like Mahomes out there finding a guy, and the receivers are reading him when he's scrambling. They're reading back to him and finding ways to get open, just like the Chiefs do.
Well, Tom Bowles said we got to stop him from rolling to his right. Everybody's starting to notice him rolling to his right.
Right.
Yep. We talked about that last week too.
Yep.
That's the first bubble screen.
Every time he rolls right.
3 games ago, they threw 7 bubble screens, 10% of their offensive plays. I only saw 4 last night.
All right, let's pause it because that was the first quarter that we just saw. And at this point, we are down 3-0. What do y'all take from that?
Lattimore. You overpriced bum. Let's get into it. Let's go and get into it. We brought this guy in, highly touted guy. We brought him in. Yeah, we brought him in, lockdown corner. Oh, he's gonna solidify our defense. He's gonna make our defense better. You know what I'm saying? Blah blah blah. This. The Saints knew better to throw towards him because he's been practicing with those bums down there. We get out here with competition. Guess what happened? AJ Johnson burned him up. Mike Evans burned him up. CeeDee Lamb burned. Well, he didn't play against him, but CeeDee Lamb would have burned him up. Like, I mean, he's just an overpaid St. Juice at this point. I don't know what we're doing, but
he's not healthy, Shaq. He's not 100%. Clearly, he's not over his hammy. He's trying to overcompensate by holding. He's getting burnt on speed.
Yeah, so a lot of the pregame stuff said how historically the Mike Evans, Marshawn Lattimore matchup is like one of the toughest, most physical matchups where they would go at each other kind of like the old Deion Sanders, Jerry Rice battles.
Yep. They're fighting.
And they would fight, and it would be a battle all night, and like there would be somewhere one would win and somewhere the other one win. Well, I will tell you, last night it was all Mike Evans. Marshawn Lattimore had nothing on him.
He's 236.
Well, this is my thing right here, though, right? And if you look at all of the plays, only time there was kind of excuse, it was like one pick play. There was one pick play where Marshawn Lattimore got picked. All the rest of them, he was either in bump coverage or he was in bump coverage or he was in man-to-man. Mike Evans was just plain beating him. Right now, St. Brown is going to have a field day with him next week. You know what I'm saying? Those receivers, their receiver core is way better than Tampa Bay's receiver core.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, they're going to have a field game with him next week. I'm just saying.
But listen, hey, we got away with only 1 penalty on him. Only 1 PI call instead of 3. So he's learning. Jack said he thinks he's still learning the scheme. Well,
that could be, Jack, that's a good one, Jack. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he might be, Jack.
It might be.
Between that and an injury, he could not be performing at peak, but I think he's lost a step or two.
Now, Jack, now I will say this to you, right? That's granted, got it. You may be still learning the scheme, but how much scheme is there in man-to-man coverage? In bump coverage? There ain't none.
Yeah, it's about moving your hips and making the angles on the ball, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff Fitz Fishing, thank you for dialing in tonight. And here's a comment, everyone. You need to pile on to Jeff. The Commanders still suck, but I told you you'd beat Tampa Bay.
Hey, but guess what? Hey, Jeff, we're gorgeous. You see this? Gorgeous. We're gorgeous out here. We're gorgeous. We're gorgeous out here.
Like that. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. So let's get into one of the things that we don't see here in the first quarter highlights, and you're not going to see it the whole game, is any running highlights.
Yeah. Although they're there. They're there.
Well, in the first quarter. Now, there were 2 rushes. Eckler had a good rush in the second half, and that clutch 4th down run by Jaden Daniels, getting that first down to secure the game.
That first down.
That was clutch.
Sure that'll be in the highlight reel here somewhere.
Yeah, that was clutch.
All right, let's get to the second quarter. Let's check out that second quarter highlights.
Second quarter begins. Jaden Daniels just using the outlet effectively, and Brian Robinson Jr. for a first down. Barrett, who's chasing the third ring, stays out there on third down. Daniels with blocking.
Ooh,
Oh yeah. Hey,
I remember that hit.
now I'm gonna be honest with you. They should have called the penalty on that because he was way out in the white.
Yeah, that should have been a personal foul for sure. They didn't call it.
I also like to play with Mariota.
Even my
but
mom, we all looked at it, and he had a foot in the white when he got popped. That was a hell of a pop. He's just a little thing. He was flying.
Yeah, he went flying for
He
sure.
took it like a champ, though. I was
Yeah,
more
Diami had
worried
a big
about when
one
he
in
got wrapped up, when he got his leg wrapped up. I was more worried about that, about him losing a knee or something.
I will tell you, when you were in the stadium, you could see everything. Man, you can see like some of these route runs. Diami had a nasty route run on that one to get open.
Hey, De'Ami Brown had a great game.
He did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he had a
That's
great
like the
game.
best route running I've seen from him all year. And he was doing some really good route running.
Yeah, because Zacchaeus and Crowder really didn't have much to do with anything.
That was really good defense.
I thought McLaurin was going to pull that one in.
Yeah. I tell you what, you got to hand it to him. That was some great defense right there. And every time Gonzalez came up, I was like, I know he's going to make it because I watched him all in pregame warm-up. He never missed
Really?
in pregame warm-up. He started off at the 35 and worked him all the way out to the 58, and he nailed every one of them in pregame warm-up.
And then here he is almost costing us the game.
Yeah, mixed those. And then they got a short field, and he couldn't handle it. Couldn't make the adjustment to the short field.
Hey, I know that made Bobby Wagner mad.
Now-
How you going to let Baker Mayfield
That hit on Wagner was something to write home to mama about.
Yep,
Wagner should be embarrassed he let a QB take him out like that.
for real.
And look who it was getting burned again. I overpaid St. Jude's.
Yep. All of our
That route's
corners.
impossible to defeat.
Look at that. Who is that? Who is that again? I overpaid St. Jude's. And look, but Mike Evans did push off that time.
Yep.
He
Yeah,
did.
he did a lot. He was physical with
He was
Lattimore.
whining about it, too.
Yep.
Look at that.
Lattimore's out there crying. Help me.
Again.
Look at that. I overpaid St. Jude's. Look at this. Spike up, look at this. I overpaid St. Jude's.
That was a crazy throw.
It was a crazy throw. It was a crazy catch, but like Mike Evans owned him all night, man.
Yeah.
Just completely owned him.
Man, when I saw that cut on Jaden's cheek, I was like, oh, and he just smiled. He was like, I don't think I saw 1 bead of sweat the entire night.
You know what call that is, though, large Sarge? That's the stick right there.
That's the stick
That's the
play.
stick.
Yep.
Look,
And
Oh,
hey,
yeah, look
hey,
at that.
look,
Look left, look right, boom. There it is. Yeah.
if Quan Martin had turned around, that would have been an interception.
Yep.
Yep.
Look at
He
this.
never turned around.
And now listen, they were in man-to-man coverage. They were in man-to-man coverage. And he just flat out beat him off the line. No ifs, ands, or buts about
Head
it.
picked him.
All right, let's pause right there because this is the third quarter. So, yeah, your guys' comments. What do you think, Large Sarge?
I was impressed at how, despite all the drives and everything, I thought the defense play calling was getting the very best that we could get out of our guys. And I think the guys that could make plays made plays when they needed to. We practically shut down their run game, the number 4 running back in the league. We were worried before the game how the running game on Tampa would be, and it really wasn't. We were worried about Evans, and we had our play on him. He's going to get his balls. There's nothing you can do to stop it. But I thought the defense is what kept the Redskins, the Commanders, in the game.
Yeah. All right.
I mean,
What do you
10-10
think?
halftime score. They're in this game. I'm
That's
just
right.
scratching
It's
my
tied
head
at
at this point going, oh, we could win this.
Yeah, it's tied up at this point now. I remember we were up at 7-3. I mean, they scored that touchdown at the very, very end of the second quarter, right before the half, and I was a little upset about it, really. I was like, I can't believe that we let them drive all down the field. We had a chance to stop them there and go into halftime with the lead, but instead we went in and tied up. And, man, I will tell you, as somebody was in the stadium, that's when all the trash talking was starting in there.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was tied up. Everybody was talking trash.
Well, I can tell you right now. So one of the things about this first half of football, for me, Dan Quinn was aggressive. But in this game, when we're trying to win, we're trying to go to the next round of the playoffs, there comes a point where, hey, buddy, take the points. Take the points. Take the points. I understand especially when we get in the red zone. We get in the red zone with this automatic points. We should have been up 26 to
I'm gonna get into it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, take the points. Yeah, take the points.
We went forward on so many 4 downs and came up short.
Yeah, take the points.
We probably left 12 points out there.
Yeah.
I mean, it just, there comes a time, and Lars Surge knows that about me. Like, I'm very, very much like, okay, if it's 4th and 4 and you stop me, I'm taking the 3 and I'm moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's reset the field. But I'm going to walk away from that drive.
Keep momentum on your side.
That's right. Keep momentum on your side. You walk away with points off of that drive. And we would have definitely been in the lead at halftime if we would have taken all of our field goal opportunities.
Yes. And then not only that, right? We would have went in with the lead. They would have had to adjust their game plan for the second half.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. They came out knowing that we got a whole half of football. The game is tied. We could just shove Bucky Irvin down their throat. We ain't got to keep attacking with Mike Evans. We ain't got to keep attacking with McMillan. We can shove Bucky Irvin down their throat. We don't have to deviate from our game plan. They did it that way. They second half game plan didn't adjust much because of the points we left on the board.
Well, I will tell you another thing. I know that people don't like to talk about it. Analysts don't like to talk about it that much. But there's got to be communication between the special teams coordinator and the head coach. When you're out there, even if your head coach isn't out on the field during the whole part of pregame warmups, but your defensive coordinator is out there with the kicker and the punter and all that, and you communicate, listen, I put him through the whole circuit of kicks in warmup, and he nailed them all 100%. Like, you got to tell your head coach, hey, Gonzalez is on tonight.
Yeah.
And then you take the points when they come to you.
No,
I understand if you got a kicker and he's shanking them here and there and he's having an off night. Gonzalez was not. He looked so sharp in pregame. I'm just like, that guy's hitting everything.
Yep. I didn't understand it. I never will. But, I mean, we got the dub. That's what counts. I mean, Dan Quinn played calling with the 4th downs, again, was questionable. I was like, man, why are we not taking the points? Why are we not taking the points? He must have had that much confidence in the defense. Even though the defensive line was playing yesterday, only person that kind of had a bad game yesterday was Dorrance Armstrong. Everybody else was playing. The linebacking core showed up. Secondary, except for Marshawn Lattimore, showed up. Like the defense played about as well as we could expect from them.
Yeah, Lattimore had a bad game. He had a bad game.
He's had bad games since he's only had one good game.
Evans had 2 touchdowns. Did he have a bad game?
Yeah, yes. He did.
I mean, if you have to double team and triple team Evans to keep him down to 2 scores, I say the defensive play calling and the play of our players met the match.
I agree with you, Large Charge, but I'm talking about an individual performance of Marshawn Lattimore. That dude did not stop anything. I'd be surprised that he even had a pass deflection on the day.
He had one good game, the Saints game.
Yeah. It was the Saints game.
It was the Saints game.
Yep. And other than that, I mean, because he shut everybody down during the Saints game. But other than that, I mean, he's been either injured or he's had a lot of pass interference calls or like tonight or last night, he's got like Mike Evans burnt him.
He was getting burnt. Right. And then this is my thing right here, though, right? So Marshawn Lattimore is a lockdown corner, right? Lockdown. He's supposed to be a lockdown corner, right? So hear me out on this. Mike Evans is up there in age. Mike Evans has lost a step. You can see when Mike Evans runs, it looks like he's running in slow motion. What is he going to do with these young guys in Detroit? Like during the season, he was getting cooked. Like AJ Brown is not the fastest guy in the league, but these guys in Detroit are faster than Mike Evans. Like what's going to happen? Like they're going to have to be some drastic changes on that side of the field.
Joseph's the fastest in the league.
Well, Marshawn Lattimore is 28, but I will tell you what, he's playing like he was 38 out there.
Yeah.
He's still injured, man.
Yeah, he might be still injured. All right, let's get to the second half. Let's look at some more of these highlights.
Like Daniels.
Third quarter here.
Halftime gets to eliminate Zacchaeus. Nice move on Winfield.
That was a good move by Zacchaeus. That's bad corner play on their part.
I thought Zacchaeus looked sharp, too. He came alive in the second half.
There you go. He kept his eyes up.
Look at De'Ami Brown. That's my dog, De'Ami Brown. Come on, De'Ami Brown.
Okay, shoulder down and say, look at me.
On the road.
Look at me. Look at me.
Plastic.
Pressure in his face there. It's out again.
There's De'Ami again.
Into the red zone.
He wasn't giving up. He could have stepped out, but he said, hell no, I'm going for the end zone.
Hey, De'Ami Brown had a good game.
He did. Very good. I think his total yards were 90 on the day.
They're all out there here. McLaurin's alone, bottom of the screen. Against Jamel Dean. Daniels throwing that way. And it's deflected.
Oh, that's so good
That was
defense.
a great defense.
Great
Yeah.
defense.
Able to get there.
And you know,
That was done.
he's so used to throwing catching contested footballs. It's like,
A short
Yeah.
field goal.
Yeah.
That was a good anticipatory read and a great defense because that was a done deal.
fun fact, do you know Terry McLaurin has the most amount of contested catches in the NFL?
Oh, wow.
I did not know that. Wow, really?
I
Yeah.
did not know that either.
Look at this. Look, Mike Evans. And guess who he burnt?
Gain of 19.
Overpaid St. Jude's.
Come on now.
There's a thing a lot.
Irving left.
Don't goose the
Oh.
juice.
Bucky Irving.
That's
Look
good.
at that. And look who he about to run over. Overpaid St. Jude's.
Yep. Marshawn Lattimore
It
just
was
did not have a
definitely a
good day.
bend, don't break type of defense, which is about what we are best that we can do, right? We can't really dominate, but we
When
can
Bucky
bend,
was
don't
getting a
break.
few of these, when
And I
Bucky was
think
getting
we
a
got
few of
the
these
knack
runs,
of bend, don't break. I think we got the knack.
yeah, but when Bucky was breaking a few of these runs, I was hearing Bucky being chanted in the stadium.
Of course.
We didn't want that guy to get too hot, and then he scores right here.
Well, I can tell you right now, if Jaden Daniels wasn't playing this year, the three guys that will be in the Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year conversation will be Bucky Irving, Brock Bowers, and Bo Nix. If Jaden Daniels wasn't playing this year, so Bucky Irving has showed up this year.
Yeah, he did. Very much so.
Out of nowhere because he didn't play 3 games. Rashad White was the main back at the start of the year.
Untouched, got up, cost him a couple of yards. The Mark McLaurin at the 42.
Hey, if Jaden Daniels hit Terry McLaurin in stride there, he would have got a lot more. He didn't hit him in stride there.
Tampa Bay didn't look like they had a good game plan to defend McLaurin. They finally work a tight end in on a pass in the third quarter. What?
Yep.
Finally.
Third quarter.
Fourth quarter begins. 3rd and 10. Daniels end zone shot. Brown brought down.
Yep.
Flag.
That's just the corner being frustrated because he was burnt by De'Ami Brown all night.
Yep.
So he was frustrated.
That was his one really huge bad mistake.
Daniels 3rd down.
Hey,
Oh,
fellas,
that was almost picked there.
That was a very uncharacteristic bad throw by Daniels.
our stream just went down. Said that we violated policy violations.
What?
Yep.
Who?
I think it's because we're showing NFL footage.
Who said that?
Yeah, it's the screen went black.
The screen went black?
Yep. I think
You're right.
I think it's because we showing NFL footage.
Oh, okay. Wait, is it a whole screen or is it just the screen where
It's
the
all
video
black.
is?
Yes,
The
stream
opening went
unavailable.
Oh man. And we was getting into it too.
Oh, man. I mean, because according to the policy violation stuff, for those people who hear him, like, you're allowed to show footage as long as you're commentating on it. So, like, this is not one where we should be like violated for suspending things. So if this is YouTube doing that, like, you need to be right. You need to open it back up because we are not in violation of the policy.
So before we lose our entire show here, why don't you drop a new link for a new show and we'll just come back and drop out this piece.
Let me try to remove the video off of that thing and see if it comes back up.
It won't. They dropped us out already. We've
Gorgeous.
been the whole stream. So drop a new stream link and I'll drop it in the live chat here, okay? So people can get it and then everyone can jump over to that chat.
All right.
They dropped it. They dropped it because I'm so gorgeous.
Is that what it is? They dropped it because you're gorgeous?
Just
Okay.
drop a new link into the chat here on YouTube, and then we'll close down this and come back on the new channel.
All right, you guys all stand by while I do that right now, and that way everybody gets the new link, and we'll do that. So while we're doing that,
I don't think anyone can hear us. We're not live.
Yeah, nobody hears.
We'll just put it on the chat then.
They dropped it. They dropped it because I'm so gorgeous. Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. That's messed up, man. And we was getting into it too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Have you shown footage?
No, we ain't never had this happen to us before.
Nope.
We've never done. I thought you said highlights. I thought you were talking about the stadium. I didn't think you were going to show the game highlights.
Oh,
Yeah,
we back. Hey, we back.
We're back?
Yeah, we back. Oh, yeah, there you go. We back.
All right, so we're back. Everybody stay in there. Yeah, Brad. So NFL video, according to the copyright laws, and I want YouTube to hear this too, that they're listening in on us. Like, according to the copyright laws, and I could show you the law on there, as long as you're commenting on the video, you can do it. And you can show it. And which was exactly what we were doing, was commenting during the whole thing. So
You can't just play it. You can comment on it.
you gotta, yeah, you can't just play it. You can't just do it. You have to comment on it, which is what we were doing. We didn't shut up during the whole thing. So, all right, but they brought our show back. So thank you, YouTube, for bringing our show back.
Thank you.
We won't show the rest of the fourth quarter or the highlights on there, so we don't have no problems with them again. But I do have post game stuff, so everybody hang in there with me, and we're going to do that. And the post game stuff is my film. It's not CBS's or NFL Networks or NFL.coms or anybody else. It's my crazy footage, because I will tell you, when we were out there at the end of the game, I had a buddy, and I shared this with the guys ahead of time. Well, I say a buddy, but I had a guy I met there who was kind of cool about it. He was a big time diehard Redskins fan. I love to give him credit, but I can't remember his name. But he was out there. He was just like yelling, telling everybody, telling all the Bucs fans, go ahead and go home. Your season's over. We'll shut down your stadium for you.
Hey, you know what? And I'm glad I wasn't there, because if I was there, me and him would have got along just fine. Remember the last game we was in, I was so yelling in their face, get out of our stadium. Hell.
Yeah. And I will tell you, I think everybody listened to my guy, because Bucs fans disappeared, and the only people it seemed like that were left in the stadium and in the hallways when I left were nothing but Commanders. And I got 3.5 minutes of video footage of my experience in the post game that I want to show you guys, because it was crazy.
Let's see Commanders Nation down in Raymond James. Let's see.
The Tampa Takeover.
Look at all that red and gold. Look at that. That's a lot of Commanders fans.
Hell.
That was a shout out to you, Shaq.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to represent. Are we doing activate prayer? I like when they do that. And the Commanders fans hung around, didn't they?
So it was 6 last second minute.
Hell. See, man.
Oh, baby, let's go, man. Let's go. HETR, baby. HETR, man.
Wait,
This is
are
what
you-
I'm talking about.
are you
Playoffs,
ready?
baby. Playoffs.
Yeah.
Get on your head, Bill. Wow.
Listen, I'm telling people were showing videos. They was out there standing on stuff, yelling, singing "Hail to the Redskins."
Those are all Commanders and Redskins, man.
I know those Tampa Bay fans was ready to fight.
That
I
is
know-
crazy. That's crazy right there. Say that again.
That's crazy, man.
That is crazy. That's something else.
It's pandemonium.
Yeah. Crazy. Jumping up and down on the boxes over there on the stage.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, Coach Mad Mike, how much was a beer at Raymond James?
I don't know. I didn't buy one there.
There we go. I was waiting for that.
Fight for old DC.
What is that thing you got on your head, Coach Mad Mike?
I had Redskin earmuffs.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Hey, look.
Let's go, baby.
Listen, random high fives with strangers. Random high fives.
Random
High fives
high
with
fives with
strangers.
I
High
did a
fives
whole
with
lot of that.
strangers. High fives with strangers.
I high-fived so many strangers, my hand was hurting.
Wow, that just must have been awesome to be there.
I just got one
Awesome
thing to say. I just got one to say. That was gorgeous.
This is gorgeous.
Gorgeous. It was gorgeous. Man, this playoff victory was gorgeous. First one in so long. We needed it. The team is energized. The city is energized. Now, look,
It's
I'm going to tell you right
crazy.
now, no matter what happens at this Detroit game, win, lose, or draw, when these guys get home, they need to be celebrated. They need to be celebrated because they gave the city a feel. I've been to multiple games this year. You know what I'm saying? There's a different feeling. Like, I've been going to Skins games since I was a little kid. And the feeling that I felt in the stadium this year, I haven't felt in the RG3 years. I haven't felt in the Clinton Portis in them years. None of those years. What I'm feeling in the stadium, what I felt in the stadium this year is something different. We're at the beginning of something special.
Yeah, I agree. And, it's a good segue to talk about the Detroit Lions. And I know Lars Sarge is a big old Lions fan.
I got to talk about this game still.
Oh, okay. Well, keep talking about the game. What you got?
Gorgeous.
So, in my opinion, this game came down to 4 mistakes. 2 by Tampa and 2 by the Skins. The 2 by Tampa are obvious. The 2 fumbles by Mayfield. That cost them the game. They didn't have those fumbles. They probably win a very high percentage they win the game. But without, not a pushover. With a hell of a fight, right?
Yep.
2 mistakes on the Commanders. And I don't know if it's because they got the same initials, but Dan Quinn thinking he's Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Why didn't he take the points? What is he doing going for a 4th down? What is he doing?
Now, again,
Now, the second time, we got away with it.
Yeah, true. Now, how about this, though? Because of Dan Quinn's play calling, what do we have? We had a quarterback, first rookie quarterback, to not throw any interceptions and not to punt. The offense that's been on offense that never punt.
He's only one of 3 rookies in the playoffs to ever do it. Another record.
Actually,
Crazy, right?
Actually, he did all 3 of them.
He did all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he holds a record because he did all 3 of them.
Yeah.
And so not only is
before, there are 2 other rookie quarterbacks that were in the playoffs that had the same stat.
No, it wasn't.
He has all of them.
He has all of them.
How?
He has all of them.
How can he have?
It's only been 3 times it's happened. 3 times it's happened in the NFL, and he's done all 3 of them.
He's done all 3.
He's only been to 2 playoff games.
No. It's not playoffs. It's ever in football.
There's 3 playoff games in the NFL.
No, not playoff games.
I'll go find the stat.
Not by a rookie.
3 times in history.
I'll find it.
And it's all been done by Jaden Daniels.
All right, I'll find it. That's a good challenge. I'll find it. I saw the stat last night, and I was like, "Sue-wee, that is crazy." First of all, it's crazy we didn't punt. That's nuts, right?
Yeah.
Then I was like, "Wow, that is amazing." No picks. We played a clean game. We did what we needed to do.
I'm gonna tell you what's crazy though, right? So Tress-Way got a free check last night.
Free check,
right?
Yeah.
And this is the first season in a long time Tress-Way didn't get selected for the Pro Bowl.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
It's the first time in a long time. So what does that say? Our offensive efficiency.
Offense is doing the job.
Offense is doing its job, right? Offensive efficiency, and the defense doing what they're supposed to be doing, or whatever the case may be, right? But this is the first time in a long time Tress Way hasn't made it to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Long time. Years. We talking about years. Tress Way hasn't made it to the Pro Bowl.
Shaq, I got to apologize to you. I know I was yelling at you on text last night saying, when you're saying, where's our run game? B-Rob's broken. And I'm like, no, he's not. He's doing 4 yards average. Well, the tail of the tape said something different. I'm wrong. I eat my words. However, that's because what did he have? How many tackles for a loss was on him last night?
A bunch.
A bunch.
A bunch.
So many that he only came through on 10 carries with 16 yards, a 1.6 average. That's how many.
Well,
I still put that on our offensive line, though, because I will tell you that offensive line is not creating holes. When you looked at the couple of plays that Eckler did, those were draws. Those weren't like dive plays.
Yeah.
They weren't like off tackle, off guard plays. They were draws.
He was 8 for 27, so not that much, but enough.
But the regular run plays that were being called were not working all night because the offensive line could not establish the line.
Well, and then not only that, man, Mike, the ends, their defensive ends were fast. There was no breaking to the outside. They was beating Jaden Daniels to the punch to the outside.
Yeah,
there was nothing going on the outside.
They game planned against it for sure.
Yeah.
They still couldn't beat us.
Yeah. So
McNichols, we talked last week about getting a running game and getting all 4 running backs involved. They talked about it up here on the Fan about why do they have 4? They only need to go with 3. There was a lot of discussion up here on the talk radio channels. And McNichols got 1 touch for 1 yard. So it was on B-Rob, Jaden, and Eckler, basically, for a run game. And we were still, again, total rush yards under 100. So under 80, actually. We are not going to beat Detroit that way.
No.
We are not going to beat Detroit that way.
No. And then not only that, the run defense, we contained Bucky Irving for the most part, but luckily they don't have David Montgomery. So, but Jahmyr Gibbs is a specimen. He's a younger Saquon Barkley.
Fast. Doesn't have Montgomery. You know Montgomery's playing, right? He's active.
Is he? I thought he was done for the season.
No.
I thought it was on IR.
I thought he was on IR.
He's active. Oh, yeah, he's playing.
The
only one that's still up in the air is Terron Arnold, and they think they're going to keep him out for the Super Bowl if they get that far. Oh, yeah. Montgomery's in the game, baby.
Oh, I'm going to have to check that. I don't know. I'm going to check that one.
I promise you. Mariota had 1 carry for a yard on the one play that they did with him for the push-tush play, right?
On the trick play. That trick play, I ain't never seen that before ever. Jay Daniels out there running like he a receiver. Now, twice. Now, if he had handed it off to Jaden Daniels, that would have been epic. Or if Mariota threw him a pass.
I thought that's what's going to happen. When I saw it develop, I'm like, oh, he's going for a pass. I was sure that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
But
that would have been awesome.
I thought it was great to call that play once. It was a great gadget play. I thought it was stupid to call it twice.
Yeah, because they knew the second time.
So we're not talking. So I see the comments online that by Jeff and by Jack and stuff like that. The comment is not rookies who won playoff games. The comment is rookies who did not did not turn the ball over, did not punt, and didn't have a punt in a game.
Stroud was
that's
one.
The stat.
Stroud was one, yeah. No punts and no turnovers in a playoff
No
game.
punts and no turnovers.
There's 3 rookies.
So that's the stat. It's not rookies with playoff games. And so get on there and Google it. One of you fans get out there and Google it.
All right.
And find the stat for us, guys, because we're not talking about rookies and playoff wins.
I may have been a little too celebratory last night when I saw that come across.
Well, I'm telling you, because I think I sent it to y'all earlier. It was like, no, he broke another record. So
yeah, he did. We probably got it on the text message here.
Yeah. I sent it to y'all earlier. I'm telling you, he broke another record. And then you know why he broke another record? Because Jake Daniels is gorgeous.
I got it right here.
He's gorgeous.
So anyway, I got it right here. It says, in NFL history, there have been 3 instances of a team having 0 turnovers and 0 punts in a game behind a rookie starting quarterback.
That's what I said.
All three were by the Commanders. Jaden
Daniels.
I missed that part.
Week 2, week 3, and last night.
So it wasn't the playoff games at all. It was just in the history of the NFL, 3 games.
History of the NFL.
I apologize. I'm a fan. I'm not a coach.
Anytime this happened. So
Still amazing.
That's the stat we're talking about.
That's still crazy.
Yep.
And not only has it happened 3 times in history, but it's all happened this year under the same rookie quarterback.
That is nuts.
That's nuts.
Nuts.
Because you know why? Because he's gorgeous.
Oh my God. But the other thing to talk about was how do we really do passing? Well, I mean, De'Ami Brown and Terry McLaurin both had the same yards.
Yeah.
Austin Eckler and Zach had the same yards, as well as Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson had more yards catching than he did running.
Well,
Yeah.
it wasn't by choice. Now, what I did like from our passing game last night is that they spread the ball around.
7 receivers. Yep.
7 receivers. It wasn't all. After even John Bates had a catch. If I'm not mistaken, John Bates had a catch.
Right.
Zach Ertz had a few. You know what I'm saying? No, we spread the ball around. So
The only thing
I
I'm
think that was a
disappointed
plus.
about is we only had between Bobby Wagner and Dorrance Armstrong, although they were penetrating like crazy, they really were doing their best, level best, right?
Yep.
We got a full sack. You know, they got a half a sack each. So,
Yeah. Well, they were, now I'm gonna tell you,
which I think that's a success in my mind.
there should have been more sacks on Baker Mayfield, but Baker Mayfield powered his way across the line of scrimmage 3 or 4 times. He powered his way across the line of scrimmage.
You
where
look like
should
a
have been sacked.
fullback going through there.
Yeah,
You look like a fullback plowing over people.
You can
And
plow
that
over
hit,
Bobby
that hit,
Wagner.
that hit on Bobby Wagner was like something like, oh my goodness, man, that's
And
embarrassing.
there was 2 DBs there, or it was Wagner and somebody else, and he blusted through both of them. But a third guy on his back. I was like, oh my Lord. And all of a sudden, after that play, because Tampa Bay wasn't doing squat, all of a sudden they came alive and pulled off that TD. And I'm like, oh, here goes the momentum.
Now, fun fact. I don't know. I think. Oh yeah, Jack just put it in. I was about to say it, but Jack beat me to it. That was Wagner's first fumble recovery in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Jack beat me to it. I was about to say that. Yeah. Thank you, Jack.
So,
That's crazy because Bobby Wagner's been in a lot of playoff games.
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of playoff games.
he was definitely a force to be reckoned with last night. Armstrong was punching through. I was really. Did you guys get any news on Drom Payne and his finger? As soon as I saw it, I said he broke it. I knew it because he got stepped on.
I think I didn't hear anything else about it, but it's something we need to look for this week. He will play in the game. Unless it's something severe, he will play. He just have a club on.
Yeah, tape it up.
Yeah,
it was his pinky that it got stepped on from the heel of another defender. I was like, oh no, that crap's broken.
People break pinky fingers every day, B.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No one. You didn't get any news on him. Is he okay?
No news yet.
So we got out of that game without any injuries.
well, we think we didn't, right?
We think we didn't, yeah.
Because usually the day after the game, you show up and it is an off day, but you go see the medical clinic, and if there's MRIs and X-rays or whatever needs to be done, that happens. And you don't usually hear about it until they show up Tuesday for actual practice.
Hold a second. I got to do my part for the team. Let me get on Amazon. I got to order me a new right cheek for Jaden Daniels. Hold a second.
I did right cheek.
Yeah, let me see if they got any and some Band-Aids.
Well, I can tell you who better be on the injury report because something was wrong with him. Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah,
You overpriced bum. I am tired of you. I'm tired of you. Listen,
Maybe what for a bruised ego?
we better go in this draft and find us. We better find us some cornerbacks. We better find. You know what I'm saying? We better get there. We better find something.
I think that
Offensive line,
that hammy injury was a lot more serious than anyone let on. He is not up to par.
Yeah, I think it was probably originally a hamstring tear, not just a sprain.
Something more serious. Yeah.
Well, there better be some kind of legit excuse. When the season ends, whether we go to the Super Bowl or not, you know what I'm saying? That's hypothetically speaking, right? Say our season ends this weekend. He better be at the doctor about to have surgery or something. Like this, how bad it need to be. The way he was getting cooked by Mike Evans.
He is going to need to play the game of his life against Detroit. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah. He's
speaking of which,
Yeah, my goodness!
I'm trying to do this to you guys.
Jack, we have.
I got a transmorphoside into my natural state.
Tramorphosized.
What you talking about?
Transmorphoside
You know what Indians do to wild animals, right? You know what Redskins do? They hunt them down and use
That's right.
they hunt them down. They use
That's what they say.
they use their skin for coats and
Get 'em
use
to
the
these
meat for
girls.
food.
You think there's a chance? There's not a chance. Look at these girls.
Oh my gosh.
The Commanders are not to hit the blue wall of belly buttons. You think B-Rob can get through that line? Forget about it.
I think B-Rob would like to try.
He would try, yeah, for real.
An entire squad, probably.
Yeah, for real.
I bet he'll get more than 2 yards of carry.
Yeah, for sure.
man.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Oh man. So, 2 weeks ago we joked about the possibility that the Commanders would meet the Lions in Detroit.
Yep.
And Coach Matt Mike, we were in Detroit 12 years ago with Brad to see
Yep.
the Lions, and Detroit got their butts handed to them.
Yep.
And that was the Stafford days. After watching that dismantling of the Vikings, and we'll see here in a little bit how they do tonight against the Rams. After the way that defense played that game against the Vikings and completely shut them down, no touchdowns against the Vikings, I don't know what we're going to be able to do as Commanders. I think the Lions got this game.
Well, we know that you are a diehard Lions fan. I mean, it is revealed. Why we have you on this show, I have no idea.
Football, baby.
But I will tell you, do not underestimate the momentum and the hype and just the overall excitement of Redskins Nation.
Well, I
I'm
can
not
tell
going
you,
to call it Commanders Nation because deep down it's Redskins Nation.
if this game stays close, Lord Sarge, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, it's going to be us.
Goff can't make any mistakes because Washington will capitalize.
It's going to be gorgeous.
And Dan Campbell can't beat his team, right? He can't play stupid. He's got to make the right calls. If Goff has one of his 5 interception games, which he's prone to do, the Lions are in trouble.
Against our secondary, I doubt
because the Lions are the top scoring team in the NFL, but the Commanders are what? Number 4, right? 28-5 a game.
Yeah. It might be high scoring. I don't
Detroit's
think
only 33 points a game. So that's close.
Yeah, I don't think Matthew Stafford has a lot to fear of our secondary. But I think it will be a close game, and it might be one of those things where it comes down to the wire again.
Well, no, this thing right here. So Jared Goff is a systems quarterback. He's a systems guy, right? So when he was in LA, he was a game manager, right? When he was out there, he was a game manager with the Rams, right? When he got to Detroit, I think him and Ben Johnson, he found a system that matches him. You know what I'm saying? So I think, yeah.
Coach, you're getting beat up, Coach, by the fans.
All right, I want to hear all the comments from the fans.
I just got to read it.
I got to take this wig off.
Yeah,
you're
you're eating that wig, man.
It's not Stafford, it's Jared Goff, Coach.
What's that?
Read the
It was too gorgeous.
All right, let's see. So Matt Greco says he loves a hat. Yeah, go Lions. Okay, we know Matt. Yeah, we know you're a Lions fan. We got a lot of Michigan people on here, so you gotta take it with a grain of salt. But Brad gets on here and he says, "Coach, your team is confused. You don't even have an agreed upon name for your team. No way you're gonna beat the Lions."
You know how confident I am the Lions are gonna be the Commanders / Old Skins, the Clutch Commanders, as we like to call them here now, the Clutch Commanders.
You got ready to get cut from this
back Roy the Lion. That's how confident I am.
Well, I do know this though. I do know this. The first half of the game is going to be the tale of all tales, right? If Detroit runs away with it in the first half, the Commanders, if the game ain't close in the fourth quarter, the game is over with. The second half, we don't make that many adjustments. First half, if Detroit runs away with it, we cannot allow them to score a lot of points in the first half. Now, this game is going to be under 50 points. It's going to be over 50 points. We was over 50 points this week coming up, but we was under. The final score was under, just barely. But it's going to be over 50 points this week.
I believe so too.
Carolina, I don't know. I mean, they sub for Tara Arnold pretty good against the Vikings. The Vikings, I don't know. It was just a really bad day for Darnold, right? Among other things. There were opportunities, and they just couldn't do it. And Dan Campbell called a good game and didn't get stupid, which I think is probably more important than anything. But the second half, the game was they just shut them down. So I don't know. I mean, who do we have to game plan against as a Detroit fan? Like, really? We got to watch Terry. Yep. And Terry's going to beat anyone we have in our secondary. He's going to have an advantage.
Yep.
Over the middle with Anzalone, Eckler is going to have a hell of a time.
Yeah.
So tell me who's going to get Montgomery super train.
No. Hear me out on this, though, right? Hear me out on this. At this stage of the season right now, do you feel like y'all defensive line is better than Tampa Bay defensive line? With all the injuries that the Lions have?
Yeah. The defensive line?
Yes.
Yeah.
With all the
the secondary is the weakness. The defensive line's fine right now.
With all Lars, hear me out. I'm not speaking as a man. As the defensive line, with all the injuries you have, no Hutchinson, none of your other guys in there, right? Do you feel like they better than that healthy Tampa Bay defensive line we played? They played great. Vita Vea and them played great, phenomenal. You're telling me they have a better defensive front than that?
Go back 1 week and watch how they destroyed the Vikings. Yes,
I'm a humbly disagree with you. They
destroyed the Vikings passing attack completely.
I hear you up, but I'm a humbly disagree with you.
I believe the only difference was Anzalone being back.
Okay, yeah, I'm about to say
that changed the entire dynamic of the defense. It really did.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say
our secondary I rate as good as the Commanders. So I agree with you. This could be a better than 50-point scoring game. Yeah. I could see a shootout. Yep. Totally.
Now
you got to stop Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got to stop Joseph.
Yep.
You got to stop Laporta. And you got a tandem running back team that is dynamite on a very good offensive line.
Yeah, true.
Against the Commanders' patchwork. Right now, I hope Daron Payne's back. Allen's in. I mean, Wagner's there. Louva's going to show up. There's going to be an edge rush of some sort. But they're going up against a much better offensive line.
Johnny Newton had it. Yeah, I agree with that.
Newton got in. I was really awesome to see his name come up. So I don't think it's going to be a pushover. I honestly don't. I think the Commanders are going to come in with the attitude, we've been down before, and we can beat you in the last 6 seconds of a game 6 times. They've won a third of their games in the last 30 seconds of the game.
Yeah.
A third. So they don't know the word quit. They don't go back and scratch, it's over, I give up. No, they don't. The Lions have to put them down and keep them down, or they're going to keep fighting to the last 6 seconds.
Yes. And right there, I think that's where, this is just me, that's where I feel like we have the upper hand. Now, again, the offensive talent, our defense is going to have their hands full with the offensive talent. Y'all have the weapons, best offense in the league. As far as like weapon wise, your receiving core, running back Sonic and Knuckles back there, your backfield is dangerous. Jared Goff, the game manager, has evolved into something else under Ben Johnson's tutelage, right? He has something he never had before. Sean McVay couldn't even get him to play the way he's playing right now.
Right.
So I do give you that. The offense is something else. The defense on both sides of the ball, again, I don't think y'all defensive front. I think Brian Robinson's going to have a better game this week. I don't think y'all defensive front is as good as Tampa Bay's. So I'm telling you, Brian Robinson's going to have a better game this week. Eckler's going to be a little bit more involved, and I think we're going to see more flashes of mid-season Jayden Daniels when he was actually breaking free.
We'll see. I mean, Tampa Bay's secondary really took some hits last night. They really did, right? When Dean went down, he was all over everything, stopping everything up, right? Yep. Anzalone's our Dean. You know what I mean?
Yep.
As long as he's playing, it's going to be it should be a high-scoring game.
Yep.
Daniel should find targets deep. He should. They're going to stretch the field on Detroit. They need to.
Well, they're going to be watching film, and you think and then they're not going to attack that soon. Soon as Dean went down, Jayden Daniels started attacking it. He did. He started attacking it. So we knowing that the weaknesses in Detroit line secondary, I guarantee if we get the ball first, they kick it off to us, we receive it first. One of the first 2 plays is going to be a long ball down the field. Watch what I tell you. We're going to test our secondary.
Yeah,
We're going to test it this
for
season.
sure.
Watch what I tell you.
Jack is asking, where's Hutchinson? I think he's still on IR, buddy. He's not back until the Super Bowl, I don't believe. We're getting Montgomery back. Arnold, I think they're holding out. So we're going to go with what we walked off the field with.
Well, for the Commanders, for the most part, I believe everybody is healthy. I don't think it's a major issue for us. I mean, we pretty much have held the same kind of lineup for a number of weeks now. The only issues that we've had of people coming in and out is Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah.
But now that he is kind of back in, whether his status is or not, I guarantee you that they're going to take a look at that. And believe me, film doesn't lie. And this coaching staff is going to look at what role Marshawn Lattimore is going to have and evaluate him through the week to utilize him correctly.
On a short week, too, by the way, guys.
There at all, right?
Commanders on a short week. That's a Saturday game.
Yeah, that's not really short though. When you play on a Sunday, so I mean, it's not like it's a Thursday night game. So I mean, you don't really change anything because usually Saturday's a non-playing game and Monday's a non-playing game. So I mean, you don't really lose anything. You still get all week to prepare. I don't want to give them an excuse like that. You should be able to be ready to go by Saturday.
They should. I don't see their game plan changing much against Detroit. I mean, they beat Philly, right?
Yep.
Albeit without Jalen, but nonetheless, the backups are doing fantastic. That was a game, and they hung in. They found a way to stop them. So they found a way to stop Tampa Bay and keep the game real at halftime.
And then again, Detroit is rested, right? They had this bye week. They're rested. We don't know how that downtime affected them. So a lot of teams,
in positive ways.
no. I'm just saying because some teams, how many teams we seen they get the bye the first week and then
they come out weak,
they come out and they lose in the division round.
I haven't been paying attention up to the Detroit news to find out anything about how they feel about the pace of practice because they've been practicing. But for Detroit, the bye week was more about not getting sloppy. It was about healing, mostly on defense. Right, the offense is good to go except for Montgomery, and he's back. Okay. He's in. He's starting. So,
man, you sure? I'm about to check that. You sure Montgomery's playing?
Oh yeah.
I just thought he was on.
Back me up. Is Montgomery playing? Yeah. He's active.
And he might be active, but you have to see his practice throughout the week to kind of do that because when a player loses a lot of football time, they're not necessarily in football shape even when they get activated, right? So even if he's like a full blown, depending on how he looks in practice, he might be on a snap count. He might be on other things. I mean, I don't want to speak for Detroit.
Yeah.
By any stretch of the imagination, I'm just talking about players in general. That's kind of like the thought process that goes behind it.
Yeah. Last week, Dan Campbell said he's expected to return. So,
okay.
Arnold had the foot injury, and Zeitler suffered a hamstring. So, Zeitler may or may not go.
Hey, hey, look, that's right. Y'all go ahead, keep practicing hardcore up there. That's right. Go ahead. We need it.
I think y'all need to be full practices 2 a days.
Yeah. Look, full pads,
full pads,
full
contact,
everything.
The Commanders need to play a game like they just played Tampa Bay. Like seriously, mistake-free game. We, as a Commanders fan, because I am a Commanders fan, they're my number 2 team. You couldn't have asked more out of a team than what they did. You couldn't have asked any more.
What was
heart
it?
aside, right?
Yeah,
Heart aside. Except for the 2 calls Quinn made to go for it, which I'm completely against. What great adjustments. What a great game plan coming in. And they were, I think, essentially able to execute it and shut Tampa Bay down.
Yep.
Yeah.
They kept Tampa Bay to 20 points against Evans.
Yeah.
That's a great performance.
He wasn't a factor in the second half. You know
so hey, I got a question I want to post to all the fans out there, and I want your guys' comments too. All right, it's time to predict what's going to happen in Detroit. Who's going to win? What do y'all think the score is going to be? For all you fans that are on there, go ahead and put your comments in the comment section. Who do you got in this game? Give us a score. But Lard Sarge, what do you think?
Lions by 2 full scores.
Woo.
All right, give us a total score.
I have no clue. I'm going to go with Shaq. It's going to be 35-21, something like that.
35-21.
Yeah, I'm gonna give the Commanders a touchdown or two. I think the secondary's that weak, but we're gonna run all over them like there's daylight everywhere.
Dang.
Wow.
At least 35 points. Yeah.
So, man,
38 against the Vikings.
Ooh.
The Vikings are a better team than Commanders.
31.
I love my Commanders. Don't get me wrong. They've done what nobody expected, right? With less than what everyone thought they should have. We've been poo-pooing on them since the beginning of the year when they didn't hire a left tackle, right? We've been all over them all year for every mistake they made. And what have they done? Nothing but win. That says a lot.
I only predicted them. They've already exceeded my standards. I said 5-6 games. They won a playoff game. And I only thought they was gonna win 5 games.
yeah.
Matthews calling.
I'm actually happy with how, if the season ended today, I'm actually extremely happy with where the Commanders played.
Marquee season. Matt Grecker's calling 31-10 Lions, and Brad is saying 3 points with a field goal in overtime, 31-28.
Wow.
There's our Michigan crew showing up.
Well, now we got Jack, who's the more realistic fan guy.
Wow, 30. Yeah, it's probably a good one. 35-31 with a last-minute TD by Jaden.
Yeah.
There you go. That's how.
If they win, that's probably how it'll be.
No,
and
yeah.
A whole new slew of records set.
So I love all the Michigan guys on there. I'm a Lions fan too. They're my 32nd favorite team.
There you go.
Well, I know as far as me score, I'm going 27-28.
That's
27-28.
Got one, huh?
27-28.
You know what I don't want to see? By the way, let's just say the Commanders were the only visiting team to win this week.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens tonight. But now it's all the top seeds playing. So let's see how these underdogs do, right? And I'm always an underdog guy. I love my underdogs, but the bigger underdog is the Lions to go to the bowl. So
I'm gonna tell you another team I'm rooting for. I don't want to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl again. I hope Houston beat them this week.
The way they just played, that could happen. I was shocked. We all three called the Chargers.
Yep, called the Chargers.
All three of us were wrong. Our bracket blew up.
All right, Shaq, did you give us a score?
27-28 Commanders.
That's right, you did. You gave us 27-20. So I'm trying to think about this one here. I think it's going to be a close one, just like the Tampa Bay game. I think it's going to be a freaking dogfight. So but I do expect it to be high scoring. So I'm saying it's going to be like, I don't know, like, man, that's really tough. I'm going to say 31-28.
Pretty close to what I said, yeah.
31-28 field goal. It's gonna be clock management. Like, one of the things I liked about this game, and I told you guys this beforehand, was when I was watching it and I was sitting next to a couple Tampa Bay guys that were next to me. There was 4:41 left on the clock. The game was tied 20-20, right? And I leaned right over. I talked to them. I was like, "Listen, you don't understand. This game's over." And they looked at me like I was crazy. I'm just like, we've been playing football like this all year.
Yeah.
Like if it's 4:41 left on the clock and it's a tie ball game, that's our type of football in Washington.
Yeah.
And we worked the clock all the way down to 2 seconds on, kicked the game-winning field goal, and they were speechless. I called it at 4:41 left on the clock.
My biggest compliment for the game on the Commanders was that last drive, that last clock knocking 4 minutes out of the clock to go with the go-ahead field goal. I thought was the best coaching I've seen from Washington all year.
Well, I'm gonna tell you,
play by our players, right? I mean, Jaden helped, and right, we had to execute, but they managed that clock perfectly.
They're going to have to do it again this week. We have to keep that offense off the field. We have to keep Detroit's offense off the field.
We got to keep them off the field, and we got to keep it close.
They do.
If we keep them off the field and we keep it close, this could be another come down to a field goal game, which to us is our style of football.
Yeah.
It will probably aggravate the crap out of the Lions because here's where the Lions will go wrong. They will go for it on a 4th down and mess it up because that's Dan Campbell.
You can
So like that's Dan Campbell.
Make me
Like
cry.
if it's a close game, Dan Campbell will screw this up. Dan Quinn will win it.
I can tell you who I expect because of the type of offense that Detroit has. I can tell you on our defense who I expect to have a big game, great game. Jeremy Chin. I think Jeremy Chin is going to be one of our standout guys.
He should have a good game.
He's going to have a good game.
And I have a lot of targets.
Yes. So we're going to see. We're going to see.
I think we're going to our secondary might surprise him too. We might get a pick in this game.
It's not beyond Jared Goff, believe me. It's not beyond him at all.
Goff can throw some picks, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so
he can throw 5 in a game and the Lions can still win, though. So
who's going to pick it? Tannehill got one, but we got to be the worst in the NFL in interceptions.
Martin,
we have to be.
I think it'll be like Jeremy Sheen might come up with one, or it might be a linebacker or something. Might come up with one. But it might surprise you. I think we're going to come away with a pick in this game. I think Goff's going to throw at least one.
Well, we're
writing it down. Hey, just write it down there, Shaq, because we're going to talk about it next week.
We're going to because all
Mike says we're going to get a pick, and then I will also say this: we're going to get more than one sack against Detroit.
Now I can see that, and I'm gonna tell you why I can see that because Jared Goff is not a mobile quarterback.
He's not mobile.
He's not a mobile quarterback.
And he's also not a fullback that's going to run over linebackers and through defensive linemen either. He doesn't need to be mobile.
They don't even need to roll him out. That's how dangerous that offense is. I'm going to tell you, if Detroit has 2 turnovers, just like Tampa Bay did, they're in a lot of trouble against the Commanders.
Yeah, and this is not now.
They could definitely be in a lot of trouble, even with all the scoring, right?
Yep. With that high-power offense that the Lions have, this is not going to be a game of field goals. We have to score touchdowns. We get in the red zone, we have to convert.
Yeah.
Simply put, we have to convert.
That's what shocked me about the last game with the Lions and the Vikes, that they completely shut them down in 3 red zone opportunities. Shut them down. I was in shock. I was like, whoa. Couldn't believe it.
With Terrion Arnold out of the game, I mean, who do y'all have to cover Scary Terry?
Vildor came in and played a fantastic game. Vildor subbed in for him. Had a great secondary.
Make sure he line playing bump coverage on Terry McLaurin and see how it plays. See how it works out.
Going to get his balls. Jaden McLaurin going to hook up.
Let's see how it works out.
And I would expect that Zach Ertz should have some catches as well. And of course, Eckler is going to get the ball out of the backfield. The question is, how fast are the Lions? Are the Lions Tampa Bay speed on the corners? Do they shut the edge down like Tampa Bay did? Because Tampa Bay locked down the Commanders' edges in that game. That's why I thought we were in trouble. I thought we were in a lot of trouble.
Lamonte David was on both sides of the field. He sat in the middle. He watched whichever way the ball went. He was there. He was the one that was. He was the one. Him and Kiabi. They was the ones that were causing the mischief on the ends.
Yeah, a lot of times Tampa Bay was running a double spy to keep Jaden from scrambling.
Yeah. And Anzalone is going to have to play a lot like David did.
Yeah.
He's going to have to play a lot to be able to shut down those edges.
He does. He's a factor. He's a force. So I think this is a supreme test for both the Lions DC and OC coaches. They're going to look and see what kind of schemes Glenn comes up with.
Well, you know what though, when it comes to defensive schemes, Todd Bowles is one of the most confusing guys for quarterbacks, right? He threw some things at Jay Daniels I'm sure he never seen before last night.
I'm telling you, he won the game except for unfortunately, I feel sorry for the guy, I really do, because he's a hell of a nice guy. But he cost him the game.
Mayfield?
Yep. He cost him the game. Those 2 fumbles in those critical areas cost him the game. One was a direct touchdown directly after they got the momentum back. Stopped the Commanders in the red zone, had the ball back. They could have managed the clock down. And then on the other side, missed a scoring opportunity.
I mean, that's
a swing of 14 points.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a way to look at it. You could look at it like Baker Mayfield cost them the game, or you could look at it like our defense created those turnovers and won us the game.
No, they didn't. It was
Come on.
No, it was a botched handoff that was on him, not on penetration.
I think that was a botched play, period.
Yeah, it was a botched play, and he dropped the ball. The other one was also a botched play where he dropped the ball. He didn't even get touched.
All right. They still got to win.
Both of them. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to lose, and it's going to be on Drake May's head, and that he's going to have to carry that whole season, because the rest of again, that was a 14-point swing between those two sides, at least 10, right? A field goal by Tampa Bay, and the Commanders don't score 10 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Matt Gricka is saying something about, hey, we should be able to get an update on Terrion Arnold tomorrow. Okay, we're gonna have to look for that.
Yeah,
good.
I think they're gonna play him. I think they're gonna hold him. I think they're gonna go with Vildor because he had such a good showing, and I think they're gonna try to start that way and leave Arnold on the sideline as a dress for success, but sit your butt down.
Yeah. And then that sounds bad though, because that means it's almost like they're looking past the Commanders, and I don't think that's something they should do.
Definitely not.
Yeah, so
Definitely
we're gonna see. We're gonna see though.
The Commanders are not coming into this without any other idea other than going forward.
Yeah.
There's and watching how they have persevered these last 5 games at the last and the heart that they've shown and not giving up says a lot about the character of that team, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, Detroit's going to have to lead by 2 scores to put them down.
Yeah,
They cannot leave the Commanders in the game because they're finding ways to win when they shouldn't.
yeah.
So here, I got another question for everybody. Who's going to the game? Anybody out there? All those Michigan people? Anybody anywhere? Anybody who's on right now? Is anybody going to the game? Lions Commanders game in Detroit. Anybody going?
I talked to Brad and Matt today, and they're like, "Oh man, it's too expensive. We're going to sit home and make popcorn and watch it from home."
Yeah. That's what a lot of people.
Now we went over our brackets yesterday. I mean on Friday, and we talked about who we thought was going to go to the Super Bowl and all that stuff. And guess what? The game is about to start.
Yep.
So
That's
we can see. we can see the Rams. I picked the Rams to go all the way, so y'all know. So we get to see the Rams on their journey tonight.
Your bracket's
after miscalling the Chargers, I'm not so sure about the Rams now. After miscalling the Chargers like we did, I'm not so sure I agree with my own call.
But that's the only one we messed up on was the Chargers one, right?
Yep.
That's the only one we messed up on all our brackets. So but Shaq screwed if the Rams lose it. His whole bracket screwed then.
I messed up Tampa Bay. I called Tampa Bay to win. I said it was going to be.
That's right. You called Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Said I want the Commanders to win, but Tampa Bay's going to beat them.
Yeah.
I just didn't see a way the Commanders coming into home as hot as they are and beating them, and they did.
Yeah,
they did.
And that's why we watch. Who knows who's going to drop a ball, throw a pick?
Again, it was so beautiful to be there to see that happen.
To
see that playoff win happen. I mean, I paid way too much for those tickets, but like I will tell you, I will never forget that game, and I'll never forget walking down those hallways and hearing everybody sing "Hell to the Redskins," and just the atmosphere was just so amazing to be part of.
You thought you were home, didn't you?
Oh my! It felt like FedEx in a way with how much it was. As a matter of fact, it felt better than FedEx.
And that's a shame. You go somewhere else and it feel better than home. Good.
Yeah, it felt better at home, man. I felt like we were alive there, man. We took over Tampa.
What was the news in Tampa today? Was that all morose?
I don't know. I was working today, so I didn't catch any news today.
I bet they're pointing fingers everywhere.
Yeah, Mayfield, Todd Bowles got to go.
I did go to breakfast this morning. There's some depressed Bucks fans when I was having breakfast this morning, and I kept my mouth shut all the way until this one guy said, "You know what? I have to hand it to Washington fans that they were real cool people." And so I walked up right behind him, like, "Hey, thank you very much." And then everybody turned around, and I was just like, "Yeah, I'm a Commanders fan," because I didn't have no gear on me or nothing like tonight. I just went to breakfast, right? I had nothing on me, and I just, "Hey, thank you very much." They're like, "Oh, you're a Commanders fan?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." And he goes, "Man," all of us thought that we were going to beat you, number one, but he goes, Number two was you guys came out. Like, do you guys always show up the game like that? I was just like, not really. I think it's because we've gone for decades of being so bad that like the excitement is so big right now that people are willing to travel to get to games.
Yeah.
Well, right now, with this new ownership, this new coaching staff, these new players, we're in the honeymoon phase. We already know once the honeymoon, I call it, well, like every time you get a new relationship, I call it the new car smell, right? So
New car smell.
The new car smell.
Yeah, well,
like
somebody went out and bought some extra freshener then.
Yeah. We get
This
there.
honeymoon's lasted longer than it was supposed to.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you get there and then it lasts good. You get that new relationship, it lasts good for about first 45 to 90 days. After that, you start getting to really see who the person is. So after that 90 days, I think we're still in that new car smell phase. I say the second game next year, we're really going to see who this team is.
Well,
Yeah.
all you
Well, I will
Commanders
tell you
fans,
what,
just
don't
get
be
used to looking
surprised.
at this right here. This is what you're gonna. This is what you're gonna go home with as a nightmare.
Well, I'm going to tell
Just
you one more
remember
story.
what I said.
All you guys, because I know we got a lot of Lions fans that are on right now. Don't be surprised you see some burgundy and gold that you're not expecting.
You know,
inside
I'm really
the
wondering how many people are going to. We were at the draft, and I couldn't believe this, how many Lions people. There might not be a ticket for sale.
I mean, it was a sea of blue when we were at the draft, but
And it
I
was
wouldn't
a
be
sea last
surprised.
year in the playoffs. You couldn't. Like we commented, like where's the opposing team fans at? They're not even there. So
Yeah.
this is even bigger.
This is bigger, but tickets don't go on sale until you know who's matched up with who.
Yeah.
So like, don't be surprised if you see a little bit of burgundy and gold and you see a
You know
blue.
what happened last week? We didn't talk about it. The Vikings organization spent $2 million buying tickets to put their fans in that stadium for the Vikes Detroit game, and they sold them at a discount so they could get their fans in. I wonder if Commanders Nation is going to do something similar.
Yeah,
People were crying in Detroit. They're like, "This is not fair." It's totally fair to do it.
Well, I can tell you
$2
right now,
million in tickets.
if the Commanders make it to the Super Bowl, I'm going. Because
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
I don't care how much tickets
I have
cost.
to.
I'm going to go because I'm probably never going to see it again in my lifetime.
It's right. It's a once in a lifetime. Yeah, I'll mortgage my house.
Yeah, I've been alive. I've been alive for a couple of them, right? But I didn't get a chance to go. It happens now at this age of my life. I won't go because we probably ain't gonna never see it again.
I have to
Oh
say this
my
for Detroit.
goodness,
If
man.
Detroit goes, I'm mortgaging the house. I'm taking out a third mortge. I don't care.
yeah.
Secondary loans, hawk the car. I'll sleep in the streets. I don't care. I'll wear this shirt and eat my hat if I have to, and not pay a cent for a $30 beer because that's what they'll be at the Super Bowl. But I won't be in that stadium.
So, but I will tell
I
you,
have cotton in my nose to prevent the nosebleeds.
it's still a long time for the Super Bowl. We're going to have to, first of all, we're going to deal with mourning next week because Lard Sarge is going to be crying. He's going to be crying next week. So when he's absolutely in tears, and he's ready to hawk all his Lions gear, we're going to have to give some emotional support to him there, Shaq.
So
He's going to be like, he's going to be in shock, just like Brad and just like Matt is. They're going to be in shock.
And you know,
Sunday.
look, so this is the difference between us and the Lions fans. The Lions fans are coming in expecting to win, and us as Commanders fans, we're happy that we just made it this far. There's a difference between us and y'all.
I'll tell you this. The Lions
We're going to come
are
in playing loose because of it.
The Lions aren't expecting you to do anything but bite off kneecaps and spit them out. They are not.
No, kneecap.
Oh, absolutely. You remember Dan Campbell?
Yeah.
They're right kneecaps off. I mean, like, this guy's nuts. They're trust me, they don't count on anything. Every game's a game. But I'll tell you, I'm the only one on this show who doesn't matter who wins. I got the colors. I win either way.
Hey, update, fellas. Rams, 7 plays, 70 yards, just scored a touchdown. 7 plays, 70 yards.
Wow.
Whoa, I got to watch this game. I got to play
I know everybody wants to watch Monday Night Football. It's the last wild card game, so we will let y'all go. It's been a wonderful show. Thank you all for listening in, for those who stuck with us and listening through this show, even with our temporary blackout from YouTube. Our first one ever. I consider that a success. We got blacked out a little bit, that YouTube was paying attention to us. All right, everybody. Y'all have a great night. We will see you next week when the Commanders beat the Lions. Hell, let's go. Football site.
Raise hell.